Hi, I'd like to give you a little bit of advice right now, and that advice is going to be rather ironic, because it's this. If I don't know you, I probably don't want you to give me any advice. Now don't get me wrong, as somebody who's watching my videos, I'm sure you're amazingly awesome, and sexy, and just like the best at a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm sure you can give really helpful advice if somebody asks for it. But what I'm saying is, if you see someone like me on the street, and you think I'm doing something wrong, and I'm not gonna like walk in front of traffic or forget my wallet in a crocodile's mouth or something, I don't need your help. It's okay. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but maybe also I just have a good reason for it and you just don't know what it is. And I think just everyone's gonna be a lot happier if you just, keep it to yourself. Let me tell you what set this off. What you need to know is I have a rolling backpack because I have back problems and shouldn't weigh my spine down with textbooks and stuff all the time. Sometimes I need to be able to throw it on my back because I'm in a hurry and I need to run. But usually I shouldn't be wearing it. It's not good for me. And the other day I was on the bus and I was coming to my stop, so I was rolling my backpack to the front. And this dude with a giant mountain man beard looks at my backpack, looks at me and says, "What, you can't carry that?" Now obviously, this is none of his business, but I give him the benefit of the doubt because it can be easy to forget your proper social mores when your best friend is a grizzly bear. So I tell him, yes, I can carry it, but I don't because I have back problems, thinking that would be enough. But he just gives me a look and he says, "How old are you?" So I tell him I'm 30, and he says, "Oh, you'll never make it to 50. Now at this point I was pretty annoyed. I probably should have just left it alone, but instead I said, "Actually, yes, I will, because I take care of myself by using things like a rolling backpack." And he obviously still wasn't hearing the tone of my voice, or he just didn't care, because he asked me, "Well, do you work out?" And I said, "Yes, I work out, but I also have back problems." At this point he backed off and left me alone, but he illustrates my point perfectly, because he's not my doctor. He doesn't know about the x-rays my chiropractor showed me that had my back going at the sort of weird angles that would make MC Escher wet his pants. All he knows is because he can toss a caber, I should be able to wear a backpack, and that if I just worked out a little bit, all my problems would be solved. A couple of months ago, I was riding my bike on this sidewalk, and I was slowly following some pedestrians, waiting for a safe moment to pass, when suddenly a guy passing me in the opposite direction mutters, "Hey, this is a sidewalk," which, I understand his point. I don't like people riding their bikes on the sidewalk either, except for one small problem. It's also a bike path. The city of Cambridge actually wants me to ride my bike on this side. It's not just that they're not trying to stop me, they actually want me to ride here. They don't want me riding here where all these cars are. They want me riding on the sidewalk. One day I was walking along and I crossed the street and I got yelled at because I didn't use a crosswalk, because I crossed here instead of over there at the crosswalk. I wasn't yelled at by a driver I was cutting in front of, I was yelled at by a pedestrian who was crossing over there. Now, I'm in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We are the jaywalking capital of the world, and somebody's gonna yell at me because on an empty street I crossed at 4 feet away from a crosswalk? If you're gonna get angry about somebody not using a crosswalk on an empty street like this, you're going to spend a lot of your life angry, and you're going to spend a lot of your life making other people angry. And people in Boston are already angry enough. We don't need your help. Finally, one day a couple of months ago, I had started my lunch break a little late, and I went down to Chipotle to get myself a burrito the size of my head. And about 3 bites into it, I realized it's 2:05 and I had a meeting at 2 o'clock that I totally forgot about. So I try and stuff the whole burrito into my mouth in one bite, but basic physics isn't allowing it. So I start running with a mouthful of Mexican food and trying to take deep breaths in between swallows and bites, just trying to eat this thing as quickly as I can and praying that I'm not going to be the last person at this meeting. And I pass a coworker who isn't going to the meeting, going the opposite direction. And she looks at me as I'm running past her and just says, "Calm down, there's no need to rush." I'm going to let you know one thing right now. If you see somebody running while simultaneously trying to eat a 30-pound burrito, that person absolutely has a reason to rush. There are only 3 things that you should be ingesting when you're running: water, maybe some orange slices, and those little glucose packets that marathoners store next to their nipple lube. If you don't know what nipple lube is, look it up. It's a thing runners use. Actually, don't look it up, because I don't know what you'll find if you search for nipple lube on the internet. Burritos are conspicuously absent from that list. That is not something you should be eating while you're running. So if you see somebody running down the street eating a burrito, or like a hamburger, or a steak, or some other really unwieldy sort of meal, that person is in a hurry for a reason. So my point is, you may not know what the reason is why somebody's choosing to do something that you don't agree with, but that doesn't mean you need to say something. If somebody hasn't asked for your help or your advice, all you're going to do when you speak up is annoy them. And then you're going to get annoyed because they didn't listen to you. So I think this world would just be a little bit happier if people would just let each other live life to their own devices and not make judgments and not feel they need to butt into people's business. And on that note, I'm going to go watch some TV and eat some tacos. Bye.